In this last lesson of the chapter, we're going to do one more thing with scientific notation, and that's do operations with it. We're going to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, because obviously since the numbers look different, the technique is different. So the way that you add or subtract numbers in scientific notation is that you add or subtract the factor, which is like the number portion with the decimal, and you keep the power of 10. So the 10 and the exponent don't change, but the one exception, the one like rule, is that the numbers must have the same exponent. Because if the rule is add the numbers and keep the exponent, keep the power, then which power do you keep if they have different exponents? So if you look at the first two examples, letters A and B, you see they have the same power of 10. These are both 10 to the third. These are both 10 to the negative fifth. So the way that you do it is just simply you add or subtract the numbers based on whatever the question wants, and then you keep the power of 10. When we look at letters C and D where they have different exponents, then that's where we're going to do a little extra work first. So in letter A, we're going to add the numbers and keep the power of 10. So it's going to be something times 10 to the third, and I just need to do 4.6 plus 8.72. So you can use a calculator for that for sure. So when you do that, you get 13.32. And you think you're done, but you're not, because remember the rule for scientific notation is that it has to be between 1 and 10, and 13 certainly is not. So we need to move the decimal to put it right here. So let's rewrite that as 1.332. Now, when we change the decimal, the exponent is obviously going to change. So let's think about it. Right now, as it is, right here, this exponent tells me to move this decimal 3 places to the right. If I put the decimal here, I now have to move it 4 places to the right to land where I wanted to in the beginning, right? Over here, I'm going to go swoop, swoop, and then one more swoop, add a 0. Here, I have to do 4 to get to my extra spot. So since I have to change the exponent because I changed the decimal, it's now going to be 1.332 times 10 to the fourth. So you do the rule, you add the numbers, keep the power, but then you just want to make sure that it's still in scientific notation. Letter B is very similar. I'm going to get my calculator, and I'm going to just subtract 7.8 minus 4.5, and you get 3.3. So I get 3.3 times 10 to the negative fifth, and then you look and you say, is that in scientific notation? Because in the last one it wasn't, but in this one it is, because 3.3 is between 1 and 10. So you don't have to change that at all. You can just circle it and move on to the next question. Now this is where the tricky stuff happens, because if you look at letter C, they have different powers. So you can't do the rule because you can't keep the power because they have different powers. So let's think about what this exponent means. This means I'm going to move it 2 places to the left because it's negative. This means that I'm going to move it 3 places to the left because it's negative. So let me do this. Let's move this 6.6 1 place to the left. So I get 0.66, and then I only need to move it 2 more places, right? So this says move it 3 places to the left, so you just do one of them already, and then the exponents match. So I took 6.6, and I just moved the decimal 1 over to the left, 0.66, so now they match. Now that they match, you can do the calculations. So it's going to be 3.5 minus 0.66. And you get 2.84. And then the rule is keep the power, so you keep the power now in the negative 2 because they match. And then you just double check, is it in scientific notation? Yes, because the decimal number is between 1 and 10. So sometimes you move it first. When we look at this letter D example, this means 2 to the right, this means 1 to the left. You don't see a lot of ones where one exponent is positive and the other is negative, so this is a little more complex of a question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let's just take this one. It doesn't really matter which one you take. and I'm going to over move it, right? It only says I need to move it once to the left, but I'm going to move it 3 places to the left. So that way, in theory, I then would have to go back 2 more spaces. So just play along. I'm going to move it 3 places to the left, so it will be 0.00341. Now, in order to bring it back to where I really wanted it to be, it's going to be 10 to the second, because now I have to undo 2 of the moves that I made earlier. I moved it 3 places to the left, so that way I could undo 2 of the places. And I had to do that so the exponents matched. So now you just add, you get 8.20341 times 10 to the 2, and you don't need to change anything because it's in scientific notation already. Now I know that you're not going to get this after 4 examples, 2 of which are actually a little tricky. We're going to do more of these in class, but that's just the general understanding about what you do when you add, subtract in scientific notation. Now, the good thing about multiplying and dividing is you don't have to worry about changing any exponents. You just do the rule. So what you do is you just multiply or divide the numbers, and then you also will use your mad spam rule to do the powers of 10, right? If you're multiplying, you'll add the exponents. If you're dividing, you'll subtract. So in letter A, you're just going to do 3 times 5, which is 15. And then you're going to do the mad spam rule. When you multiply, you add the exponents. So that's going to be 10 to the negative 7. Now you have to change the 15 because that's not between 1 and 10. So right now, this exponent means to move it 7 places to the left from here, right, the end of the number, since there's no decimal showing. If I move it here to 1.5, then I did one of those 7 movements, so I really only have 6 left over. So it's 1.5 times 10 to the negative 6. In letter B, you're going to divide 1.5 divided by 6, and you get 0.25. And then since it's division, we're going to subtract the exponents. So negative 8 minus 7 is negative 15. So that's not written in scientific notation, so I'm going to take my decimal point, and this exponent tells me move it 15 to the left. I need the decimal to be over here, so if I move it from where it is to where I need it to be, I actually moved it in the other direction, so I would then have to go 16 places to the left. All right, we've got one more question to do together. An aluminum ion has a diameter of about 5 times 10 to the negative 11th meter. How many times greater is the diameter of the sun than the diameter of the ion? So they want to know how many times greater it is. So that has to do with multiplication. So if I want to solve a multiplication question, I'm going to do division. So let's do division. They give me this number in scientific notation. They give me the diameter of the sun as this crazy long standard form with zeros and commas. So let's use our skill and let's turn the sun diameter into a scientific number. So it's going to be 1.4 times 10, and then I have to figure out how many decimal places there are, which is 9. It's not the number of zeros, it's the number of decimal places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the diameter of the sun, and I'm going to divide the diameter of the aluminum ion. So we do 1.4 divided by 5, and you get 0.28. And then when you do division, you subtract the exponents. So 9 minus negative 11 is 20. It's not written in scientific notation form. So let's move it. If I move it once to the right, then I would only need to move it 19 more times to the right. So it's 2.8 times 10 to the 19th times greater. So what does that mean in like real numbers? Well, you would have 18 zeros, which is a massive number. So I don't even know what that is in standard form. The other thing you could do, I wouldn't really recommend it, but you could turn this into a regular decimal number, right? Like move it 11 spaces to the left, so you get like 0.000000000, I lost count, 5. And then you do this number, 1,400,000,000, divided by this tiny decimal, and you get another number. You just punch them in your calculator. You have to hope that your calculator can fit all those zeros, but if it can, I guess you can do it that way. Right, if you have any questions, write them down. I know this is a tough lesson. I don't expect you to be able to do everything after 6 examples, and we'll do more of these when I see you in class.